Hi everyone, good evening. I'm going today to talk about my past 2 weeks, which was my mid-semester break at the university, in which my mom flew over to come California to visit me for the 2 weeks, and it was a lot of fun, as well as talk more about both academics and then other cool stuff about being abroad in New Zealand right now. So, starting off with the break, it was a lot of fun. Going into it, I knew it was gonna be fun, just because we had planned out three cities. Sorry, I cut my mouth. Three cities, Auckland for 5 days, and then we flew to Sydney for five, and then train to Melbourne for 2 days, and then back in Auckland for 3 more days. I think a total of 16 or 15 or 16 days. So definitely over 2 weeks, and it was a lot of fun to spend time with my mom. Just because it was a pretty after she left this past weekend, it was kind of like a big trip in the sense that this might have very well been our last like trip possible together. Well, not like that, but for quite some time, just because she's now moving down to Carmel to help take care of my grandmother, her mother, who is currently suffering from Huntington disease, as well as to be closer to me. So she'll be an hour away for next year. So I'll see her a lot next year in the fall back in Santa Cruz. But as for this summer, I now won't see her until July. And then even in July, I might see her once or twice before I start back in September, just because she's through 4 hours away. So it's definitely it would definitely be a trip out. So it was I was very glad and pleased that she had a really good time with this vacation, just because like I said, she's moving. I won't see her for a while, so it's kind of like, you know what? It was a kind of like a good last one of before I kind of like become even more and more independent. So it was really great to show her around this part of the world. We had a lot of fun. Starting with Auckland, she flew in Friday. I was really tired from my last video. I had a really long, hard week going up to it before break, just because with a lot of assignments and other things and stuff like volleyball and other prep work for her to come. So Friday we were both really tired. So gave her the introduction of my apartment as well as the university, and then some other stuff near our hotel for one night. Um, excuse me, down by the water, and then we both were like super tired, and we slept a lot Friday. But then Saturday, doing better with the time for her. It's only 3 hour difference, so Saturday we had a lot of fun. And then Sunday was Easter, and Easter was probably my favorite day in the whole 2 weeks here, just because a lot of cool stuff happened. Starting with our Easter service, we went to St. Paul's Cathedral up near the university, which is the city's oldest church. I want to say somewhere in the 1840s. I want to say it was erected or built. So it's been in the city for quite some time, and it was beautiful. Had a lot of nice mosaics, glass stained windows, as well as a really good Easter service that I really liked to be a part of. And at the Easter service, in the usual saying hello to your neighbors at Easter, I had chosen to wear a tie that I had gotten from some very good friends at Santa Cruz, and I think in doing so helped a lot. And I didn't realize it at the time, but wearing it, I mean, I was probably the not best dressed, but most well dressed there, because I have nice Oxford shoes, nice pants, and then a nice dress shirt and tie. And so some people went very casual, others to semi casual to me, just like very formal, just because I wanted to look nice for both my mom and as well as the occasion of Easter at the church. So I got a lot of nice compliments saying I looked good and things like that, and I also felt good. I felt nice. I felt in place. I felt confident in myself. And from that, I talked to some people behind me, and before I knew it, I sort of like I didn't kind of realize it at first, but I get handed a card saying because me and his name is Keith. He's I want to say in the grandpa age range. We talked about like where I'm from, and so my mom and I talked to him like we're both from California. I'm here on exchange. Mom's visiting now. Like how we're liking it, and then we got into the topic of like what's my major. So I started talking politics, and like I told him my involvement during my first year, in which I went to Washington D.C. I made 3 trips to Sacramento, both all for the purpose of student lobbying, as well as other things. So then before we left, I got his card, and I was like, oh, what's this for? He's like, in June, I it's I just kind of explained, but he organizes. It's like semi quasi organizes. He organizes a breakfast with the Prime Minister John Key. I think that's it. Yeah. I don't want to doubt myself. Yeah, with the Prime Minister John Key in June, for some different representatives, and it's an invite private breakfast. And so he's been doing it for quite some time. So he was like, I guess to paraphrase, like, I'm impressed by you. You look like you're a young man of nice caliber with your major. This seems like your kind of ballpark. So I was like, oh, absolutely, yeah. So and on June 7th, 90% sure I'll be going to a private breakfast with not with one-on-one, but to a private breakfast meal service gathering. It's not like campaign, because the breakfast with the Prime Minister and other prime people. So I'm really excited for that. So it's gonna be. I think that's gonna be probably a really cool treat to say that as an American, I got somehow through serendipity and just overall good fate and karma, I now have this great chance to perhaps meet and talk with the Prime Minister about where I'm from, my involvement with government, his involvement with government, and just overall just have that once in a lifetime opportunity to like say, as an American, I got to go to a private, non-public breakfast with the Prime Minister and other esteemed guests, and just really just feel like back at home my first year. And then so that really put me in a really good mood on Sunday after Easter service. But then on top of that, the day got even better when me and my mom went. We had high tea in the Sky Tower, which is the iconic landmark of Auckland City. I don't know when it was built. I want to say within the last 2 decades. And it's similar to the Space Needle, so just basically imagine the Space Needle. So we had high tea on their revolving restaurant, super beautiful. So it had a complete 360-degree view of the city, so I could see the bridge in the city. I forgot what it's called. Right now, it's not Harbour. That's in Sydney. And then we could see different Devonport, which is a city across the bay, Rangitoto Island, a great state reserve. The city downtown, I could see where I am right now. I could see my building, which is really cool to say, like, I can see my house from there. So it was beautiful views. I really like being up high, so it was really cool to see the city from that kind of angle, because I had not had the chance to see like the city up high, so that was really cool. And then our high tea itself was delicious. We had several different mini entrees, and then tons of really nice desserts, ranging from eclairs, macaroons, I don't know how to say, and then other chocolate confectionaries, and then had some nice cocktails, and then overall just had a really nice experience with my mom. It was classy, it was festive, and it was like a really good memory. So I'm always going to remember that day for Easter, especially for both the chance I got for the event in June, as well as the meal. And which I think was really cool overall with the trip was pretty much every meal we had, bar one, was delicious. From Auckland all the way from the start in Auckland, through Sydney, through Melbourne, back to Auckland. Every meal we had was just top notch. Be it one night at a hostel, she had a can of beans, I had frozen lasagna. But that, I mean, of course, it can't be perfect overall, but really good meals ranging from French toast, Mexican, pizza, Italian, burger. I think probably her favorite one that we went to twice was Burger Fuel, which is probably the best burger joint in New Zealand. And so I love that. I think I'm going there tomorrow with a friend just because it's so good. They have a very nice range of burgers, both beef, chicken, vegetarian, tofu. So I've experienced it with both the beef and the chicken. Love them all to death. As well as they have delicious kumara fries, which are like, it's sort of a variation of soup potatoes, but they have aioli sauce, which is just, man, I don't know what it is exactly. I can't put my tongue to it, but the combination of both uh, the kumar fries as well as the aioli sauce. Man, that's probably my favorite thing to have in the whole world right now. It's just that combination is just so good, and not addicted. That's too strong, but it's definitely very appealing to me, and I'm always in the mood for that combination. So we had really good we had really good food overall. So I was super about that. And then to finish off Auckland, or the first leg of the vacation, we went kayaking a different day in Mission Bay, a nice beach just like 10 minutes north of the city. We had good Mexican food there, good ice cream. We went back there in the final part of the leg and had drinks at a nice Belgian bar. So she got some nice Belgian beers. I got some nice Belgian cider, and then some different shooters, things like that. But then then as well as I got some really nice stuff shopping wise with her, just because me and her and my sister were doing in July. I want to say July 24th or 25th or 26th, we're doing a wharf to wharf run, 10K from Santa Cruz Wharf to the Capitola Wharf. So that's where, so basically my current hometown or current place of residence that I identify with. So we're doing that. So I needed running shoes. So after searching for like maybe 4 or 5 days to find the right type of Nike Lunar Glides for the right price, we finally found it actually in Sydney. So I picked up those, as well as I got some new shoes as well. I got, not trying to brag, but I definitely got a major upgrade in my wardrobe, just because it kind of the way it worked out. So I hadn't really bought new clothes since the fall, so I was definitely due for an upgrade, just because of different fashion and different things. So I needed new shoes, so I got new running shoes, I got new volleyball shoes, which I had ordered the week before. I got new street shoes, I got some Vans, and then I got a few pairs of new socks that I needed for athletic socks. I got this shirt from my mom currently. That's a nice blue and black gingham shirt. I got some nice tees. I got some a new pair of board shorts. So overall, I think I'm pretty. And I also got a new hat, so I'm pretty set on clothes. But it just felt nice. It felt kind of like nice to have new clothes and kind of like a more up to date reflection of my fashion style and like sort of like my up to date reflection of like my style. There we go. So that was really fun. So we did kayaking, shopping, different meals, Easter services, the Easter brunch, and then I showed different parts of the city. We saw an art gallery. So overall, pretty good. It was a good first leg. And then we flew over to Sydney. Nice flight. Air New Zealand. Loved the airline. No complaints. And then once in Sydney, so Sydney was 5 days, and we probably overstayed Sydney by 1 to 2 days, just because it was 5 days, 5 in Sydney and only 2 in Melbourne. But we really did think that Sydney would that we could film more in our day in Sydney with 5 days, and then we thought Melbourne wouldn't have enough in 2 days, but it was kind of the opposite, in which probably after day 3 we had pretty much seen everything we had wanted to see, and we were kind of like we had to stretch some things within the range of like being tourists. But then in Melbourne we definitely had to scrunch some things. So starting with Sydney, of course we saw the Opera House, amazing to see in person, and like I think seeing the Opera House was really a cool thing to like. I think that was probably one of my favorite things. That was probably my favorite thing to see, just because when I saw it, I was like, man, like there it is. Like after maybe, I don't know, say over 10 years of just seeing the Opera House every time at New Year's, because they always do we're a day ahead over here, so they always show it in the States. It's like Happy New Year from Sydney, and then it's always Harbour Bridge and Opera House, as well as when you think of like Sydney, you think of Opera House. So seeing it in person was just like, and it's really nice in person, the way the architecture is, the different, I guess, jagged roofs. It's really nice. So when I see it, it kind of feels like, in one sense, it's like too good to be in that current place. And then when I think about it personally, about like the landmarks, like damn, I got pretty lucky. I've seen Buenos Aires' obelisco, which is similar to the Washington D.C. monument. No, George Washington, is that what it is? The obelisco is very similar to the Washington Monument in Washington D.C. I've seen that landmark. I saw a different landmark in Buenos Aires. I think that it was like a peace flower, really giant, really cool about that. And then over in Europe in the fall, I saw Big Ben. Parliament, the London Eye, and then I saw different places in Amsterdam, different places in say Brighton, Barcelona, and then especially Italy. I saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Colosseum, uh, and of course a few others I'm currently forgetting off the top of my head. But to think that like I've seen quite a few landmarks in just all different parts of the world is like a really cool thought to have, and like it just made me like really appreciate what I have currently, and it's gonna make me definitely think back to the good times I had this year. So saw the Opera House, and then we went to both beaches, both the best two most popular beaches in Sydney. We saw Bondi and Manly. Loved Bondi. Bondi is really nice. Manly was pretty good. A bit cold that day, and then we unfortunately got pooped on, so by a bird. So that kind of like put a damper on the day, but definitely love Bondi. I'll be going back there in July with my father and sister. And then Sydney, we did more shopping, as well as one of the nights I met up with some friends from Carlo, where I currently stay. I met up with 3 friends who live in Carlo, and then I met their friends that they were with. So it was about maybe 10 of us plus my mom for a dinner on Friday night. So we had a really nice dinner, and so I met some nice Australian friends who had done an exchange program at the University of Wisconsin-Madison with my friend Brian, who played volleyball and is also a good friend now. So that was cool, and that was very nice of him and his flatmates to offer their hospitality to have us over for dinner. So that was really cool. So I met up with them, and then after Sydney, we didn't fly to Melbourne. We took what we thought was going to be, what still was, but we thought it was going to be probably a bit better was we took an 11-hour train ride from Sydney to Melbourne, even though it's like, I want to say, like only an hour 40 on airline. But it was nice, but unfortunately we got delayed. So by the time we got from start to finish from point A Sydney to point B Melbourne, it was like almost 12 hours, and my God, was my butt sore. It was a long day that day. Just because we got up in the morning, we ate at the train station. By the way, Australia has Krispy Kreme and 7-Eleven, and also Ben and Jerry's. New Zealand ain't got either, so I definitely loved Australia for that sense, in the sense of like what they had food-wise. So I ate some donuts, for before the train ride, and then had food on the train, but with not a whole lot to look at besides the outside, which is kind of like after a while kind of started to look the same. It's just hills, green, beige grass, farmland. By hour 5 or 6, me and Mom were like, yeah, we're ready to get off this train. So suffered through it, and then got our hotel in Melbourne. And Melbourne just right away was just such a cool place. The way I describe it, it has such a nice identity, and like I guess it's a very nice cultural identity and like vibe that I really liked it a lot. It's very, I don't know, it's very different from Sydney, with its culture and identity, as well as its overall feel and that kind of like energy. So loved it a lot. Definitely picked up on that. Loved it. So hopefully I can go back in July. But then during our short stay in Melbourne, we did pretty much everything that my mom had dreamed of doing, which was to tour the tennis facilities that Melbourne uses during the January tour, the Grand Slam of the Australian Open. So we saw where they play the final, Ronald Laver. We got a nice tour of all 3 tennis facilities that they use for the tournament in January, as well as in that same area, they also have the Melbourne Cricket Ground, which is where just a few weeks ago New Zealand lost to Australia in the World Cup of Cricket. So I saw that stadium, very nice, kind of nice to look at it. So it's just really cool how it was one kind of park area, part of town. It's maybe 10 minutes from downtown. They have this ginormous cricket ground, as well as like this even bigger like tennis facility, which they have like 10 outdoor clay courts, 3 indoor facilities, different corporate and media headquarters for the tournament and things like that, year round. So really cool to see that. So my mom especially was happy to have seen that, just because she's always watched the Australian Open, but never been to the facility. So now, next year when she watches it, she can say, "Oh yeah, I was in that stadium getting a tour of like where they played it." So that felt nice to like have the chance to do what I do, so that way I could pass on to her. So I love that. And then on our final night, we got lucky in which there was it was the start of Melbourne's comedy festival. So we asked around and we ended up seeing a New Zealand comedian named Dave Thorne, really funny guy. It's about an hour show. I was and we got there, so we got there around maybe like 25 minutes before show, and we thought we'd like be like in the middle of the pack for the line, but we got somehow first in line. So there we were, front and damn center in the front row. So I was visibly nervous. I was like, oh man, I can be easily like heckled and like made fun of. So thankfully I didn't get picked on. The guy next to me did in his family, but I did chime in and have kind of back and forth with the comedian, just because we both had been in South America over the summer. So we talked about that and how like we both know like it's a different place than say North America, Europe, or Oceania. So comedy was great. My mom loved it. And then the final day, my mom went and did her own shopping to take care of some things. And then I went and met up with a different friend from the University of Auckland. And then she introduced me. So she was hanging out. She was staying with a good friend of hers that had came to her university in Montreal, McGill University. So it was them two, and then me. So and then this friend named Kobe, she goes to the University of Melbourne, which is a beautiful school, absolutely beautiful. Similar to similar to Auckland University, just because in which it's for its downtown location. But man, it blew. In my opinion, it definitely blew our city campus out of the water. It was just so nice, and then I had a lot of fun meeting Kobe as well as spending time with Isabel. So I left on a very high note from Melbourne. Definitely want to go back, and then flew home. And then next we know back in Auckland, that man, at this point we were like kind of getting like fatigued out of vacationing. So we just took it easy the last few days in Auckland. Went back to Mission Bay, did some more shopping. I can't remember what we did, but overall fun, overall really fun. And then she left on Saturday, and no, she left Friday. Was it Friday? No, she left Saturday. She left Saturday, and then she returns Saturday in the U.S. Sorry, I got confused there. So she left on a really high note. I left on a high note. I just honestly, I felt kind of like just an overall good feeling that like I had done a good job of like hosting her, showing her around, as well as being a good travel companion, and then offered my own suggestions and like input and things like that. So overall, we were a good team. Overall, had a lot of fun. Definitely not going to forget it forever. And I want to thank her again on this video for paying for a lot of stuff. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. It's pretty nice to not have to pay for things, but then also for her company and experience as well as advice, things like that. So she definitely helped me out in a lot of ways that I didn't know I needed help in. What I needed to do, like just like fashion, how to take care, how to keep my apartment in an upscale, clean condition, as well as others. Just mom advice that just comes with the what's the phrase? The trade of the game, the nick of the game, something like that. But that was that. So now it's Monday. I spent my first day of school back. Got back the midterm I had from a politics class, A minus. Pleased about that. So came back on a good note for school. Had a good first day back. No complaints, no hidden surprises, nothing I wasn't in for forever. So I had a good day, and then for the week upcoming, I'm pretty excited. I'd say I got a pretty good weekend that I've been now looking forward to for the past probably month. In which, so finally, it's time for tryouts for the school's volleyball team. So in May, I want to say somewhere towards the end of May, they have a tournament called the Northern Territory. I can't pronounce that, but it's basically it's a college tournament in which all the schools, I think it's like 7, 8 on the North Island compete in a one-day tournament. Different sports, so netball, volleyball, indoor futsal, basketball. So I think like 5 or 6 sports compete during the day. I don't know where it is, so I hope it's somewhere like a road trip. That's something to look forward to. So maybe a few hours would be fine with me. Perhaps it's in Burlington, so that's a haul. So that's 11 hours. But there's tryouts Tuesday and Thursday. I'm already pretty confident myself just because one, I got a renewed sense of like my confidence in my abilities as a player with my new shoes. I feel I can jump higher. I feel faster. I feel more agile. So I feel good about that. So that definitely has um, brought back a new wave of confidence in myself. So I'm ready for that tomorrow. So I got that Tuesday, Thursday in the morning. So I'm just excited to play. I just love playing volleyball now. So I just can't wait to hopefully duel the team in May. So I got that Tuesday, Thursday. I've got intramurals on Thursday, and so far we're 3-0, top of the league. So we're going for hopefully undefeated, but definite goal is to win the thing overall, just because there's teachers involved. So I want to bring back a University of Auckland intramural T-shirt back to Santa Cruz, just because that'll be really cool, like kind of like physical souvenir to have, things like that. So that's that. And then lastly, not lastly, second to last, the penultimum is my weekend trip. Uh, Five of us are going to Waikato, which is really famous for its glow caves, as well as whitewater rafting. So my good friend here, Ellie, she has a grandmother in Waikato that's gonna let us stay at her place, as well as show us grandma love. So we've got, I believe, all of our supplies ready. So we're leaving sometime Friday. I don't know when. Two of the people in the group have test Friday, so we'll probably leave no later than the afternoon. So we've got that from Friday through Monday, and Monday next week is Anzac Day, which is the Australia-New Zealand Army Corps Day centennial, in which I believe it marked an important battle. I can't remember where in the Oceanic region, but New Zealand and Australian joint forces fought. There was always some valiant fight and definite cultural significance. So I'll be sure to research more into that as it is next Monday, just because I want to properly honor those who have fallen, as well as pay my respect to this region of the world. So I've got that. So no school Monday. So we'll be traveling back, but also in the evening, I believe there are services around the city. So I'll be sure to attend one of those to pay my respects. But we've got in the weekend plan, we're going to do, I think on Sunday, whitewater rafting. We're going to do luging. We're going to do zorbing. And then just overall, I'm just glad to be with my buddies, really my good friends, 5 of us. I like all four of the others we're going. I'm good friends with all of them. I absolutely love being with them. So it's gonna be a really fun weekend, just really be with my friends and just have a good time. So that's this weekend. But then for news back in Santa Cruz, so once this all concludes, all my travels and studies, I'm going back to Santa Cruz in the fall, where I will hopefully, I've got a few things. I have a lot of things sort of like conditionally lined up. The first being housing. I got really lucky with housing. I got asked to house with some friends I met through student government first year. So I'll probably be in a double with that house off campus. So I instantly accepted and am looking forward to it, just because I'll be excited to live with, like I said, just be as good buddies all year, and then also be off campus, have my own place, and just continue to grow as an adult. Second thing lined up conditionally is hopefully my job back at the cafe. Well, hopefully I can do that, swing that time. Thirdly, I hope to be an intern for my school's international education office, in which it's a year-long. There are 6 interns, year-long paid, in which we are, I want to say, like somewhat counselors, as well as like kind of like student interns who help with the application process, advice, knowledge about both EAP overall as well as specific countries. So I'm hoping I can get the job, just because I've got a pretty good background of different areas and expertise, as well as the length of my studies is kind of, I'd say probably very few people will have 3 programs under their belt just in this short amount of time. So I've got South America, Europe, Oceania covered. I've got Spanish in there, so as well as I'd say I've got some nice qualities from my cafe job that I've learned to work with the people. So overall, I hope I can do well. And I actually just remembered one more thing about broad stuff is I'm actually signed up to help promote UC Santa Cruz as well as the UC all the 9 UCs overall. Just because I think at the end of this month there's the international fair for students for Auckland students who want to study abroad. So I signed up to promote Santa Cruz as well as the schools overall, the UCs overall. So I've got to make it for that a presentation as well as get in contact with my home school's office and tell them what I'm doing and say, hey, can you pass along any presentations you have, any things that you want me to cover, and so things like that. So I've got that to do that. So hopefully that will give me a good indication of how is my abroad working skillies. And then so that's that. So I think that concludes everything. Oh, one more thing is student government. Actually, I got asked to run for a position, a representative position next year in the student government. So I got my application in thanks to the help of really good friends. So hopefully, I'm not sure how this is all going to pan out. I don't think anyone's ever run abroad. I think there is someone else running who is physically there, so that might instantly make me not the front runner. So if I do win, that'll be great. If not, I'll just deal with that in the fall. But so I guess overall with back home stuff, it's like April, so I've got to definitely stay on top of things with stuff back up, so I don't want to miss anything and somehow find myself with the short end of the stick in the fall. But other than that, it's been really good 2 weeks. I've got a really nice week upcoming. Overall life is good. My health is good. And without any more commentary, I'm going to go to bed. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you next time.